Greetings, Earthlings! Welcome to another spectacular episode of Urban Nerd Weekly. Today is Tuesday, April the 16th, and it's episode 14 of season 2. Thanks for joining us again. Not much on the nerd news update today, but we do got a digital download full of video games and movies for you guys. We're gonna dive into the last episode's question of the day, which is gonna lead us into today's topic, which is all about taxes. So, tune in, nerd out, to today's episode of Urban Nerd Weekly.
This ain't no freestyle, bitch, this that he style.
Hey, it's your boy Spaceship, man. I got a new podcast out I want y'all to subscribe to, bruh. It's called Urban Nerd Weekly, available on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play Music. My
back up in this shit. I just snacks and cup your bitch. I'm about to hit the stick, so go and follow me on Twitch. Now watch me crank that urban. Now watch me crank that urban. Watch me crank that urban. Now watch me crank that urban. Back up in.
What's happening, man? It's your boy Spaceman. Like I said, I'm so glad you guys joined in today. Thanks for returning. If it's your first time, thanks for tuning in. Hope you love the show. Hope you come back. Please, I'm begging on my knees. Don't you forget to follow me on these top 3 social media sites. I did not mean to rhyme it like that, but I wish I could remember that for like every episode, because that shit just sounds like how it's supposed to sound, right? But yeah, the big 3, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all at Space Was Here, SPAYCEWUZHERE.com. Oh wait, I mean not .com. Put an ad in front of it. You want to check out the website, just add.com. It's the same thing. You know, I'm just doing the branding thing, making it easy for you guys to remember. But yeah, let's dive on right into today's digital download. On the video game front, we got a video game called Anno 1800 that comes out today on PC. We got Final Fantasy X-2 HD remastered today on Xbox One and Switch. That just sounds like that's just so good of visual quality, it's gonna make my goddamn eyes water. I want to play that right now, like already. But I don't have either one of those consoles or the money to go buy it because I'm a poor person. So yeah. Tanks Meet Zombies, which also comes out today, available on Switch. World War Z comes out today, and it's available on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. And we also have a video game called Troublebrook, which comes out tomorrow, and it'll be available on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. Got a couple movies coming out tomorrow. One's called Breakthrough, and the other one is called Penguins. I don't know shit about either one of those movies outside of that they were coming out tomorrow. But if you guys have been waiting to see that movie, or if you do eventually go see the movie and you really like it, feel free to drop me a line on spacewesthere.com, any of my social media sites, as well as my email, which you probably won't do. So just use the websites and the social media. I just try to do the rule of 3 for comedy and shit. But y'all know how to hit me, man. I done told y'all in enough episodes. I don't gotta repeat that shit. Just hit your boy up. Drop a line. You know what to do. You can leave a comment in the fucking episode. Or whatever. Like, whatever. Just, you know, hit me up. And as a reminder, I did just say the website, but as a reminder, please hit up spacewashere.com to join the email list so you guys can get every blog post fresh off the press, as well as all the exclusive content I got coming future-wise. Please and thank you, and I love you so much for that. The last episode of last week's question of the day. I'm gonna get this day and week shit right, you guys. Mark my words. But the last question of the day for last week was, did you procrastinate to do your taxes like I did? And the reason I asked that was because the last episode came out on April 11th, and as we all know, the tax deadline is April the 15th, which was yesterday. So, did anybody procrastinate on doing their taxes like I did? I know I procrastinated like a motherfucker. And according to my Twitter page, like 72% of you also procrastinated on getting your taxes back. And a couple of people even gave like reasonings and shit, which are some of the same reasons I have. Like, I still got student loans and shit, so they take money out of my taxes, so I'm not fucking dying to do them, because I know I'm not gonna get a huge like return or anything like that. And a lot of people were, you know, having the same sentiment, like they're either on like probation or, well, not probation. I don't think they take taxes out for probation. I don't know. I'm gonna look that up because I don't have like a rap sheet or whatever, so I don't know that shit. But I know I got student loans, and I know they take the fuck out of that shit every year. So I'm not like fucking dying to do my taxes every year, but I still do them because, as you know, after the age of 24, you know, nobody can claim you anymore, so you have to do your taxes. So, you know, you can be fined for that shit, go to jail for it. I mean, Ron Isley and Wesley Snipes done did time in jail for some tax-related bullshit, so let's not make that any of us Urban Nerd Weekly listeners or hosts, in my case. But yeah, man, so, don't get charged with all them late fees. I mean, I know today's episode is a little late, but that's why I try to remind you last week's episode. If you're a faithful Urban Nerd Weekly listener, I try to remind you about that shit. But hey, today is the 16th. The deadline was yesterday, so that means if you're doing your taxes from the day on forward, there's going to be a late fee. But that's still better than not doing your taxes at all. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you do that shit. Which brings us right into today's episode. Like what the fuck is taxes? Is today's topic. What the fuck is taxes? Like, if I could shove nerd somewhere in that is exactly what today's episode title would be. I mean, it's Nerd Money 3. You know what I'm saying? I know I've been dying. I love doing the Nerd Money episodes because nerds are the ones who, we get the most money low key. But, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I love doing the Nerd Money episodes. And plus, so much nerd out on about money and coin and dollars and change, pennies, nickels, quarters, all kinds of great shit. So today episode, Nerd Money 3 is all about taxes. And so, as we know how I do, we're gonna go ahead and Wikipedia tax. Let's get a basic understanding. What the fuck is taxes? A tax, from the Latin taxo, is a mandatory financial charge or some other type of levy imposed upon a taxpayer, an individual or a legal entity, by a governmental organization in order to fund various public expenditures. A failure to pay, along with an evasion of a resistance to taxation, is punishable by law. Taxes consist of direct or indirect taxes and may be paid in money or as in labor equivalent. Now, keep in mind, I'm Googling tax, but tax, this is the definition like in general for tax, and then a little bit down the line, I'm gonna get on into like income tax. So you guys, you're following me right now? Like, we're nerding out about taxes right now, and I know that's so fucking nerdy, even for nerds, because taxes is like I don't know if y'all know like about the nerd universe, but the accountant nerds that are good with numbers, they're very intimidating to the rest of us nerds who just like to veg out and watch like Dragon Ball Z and shit, or play video games all day. Like the numbers nerds those are the real motherfuckers. Those are the OG gangster nerds. Like, those are the nerds that you respect beyond a level because fucking that will make you insane thinking about numbers all fucking day. However, tangent. Most countries have a tax system in place to pay for public, common, or agreed national needs and government functions. Some levy a flat percentage rate of taxation on personal annual income, but most scale taxes based on annual income amounts. Most countries charge a tax both on corporate income and dividends. Countries or subunits often also impose wealth taxes, property taxes, sales taxes, value-added taxes, payroll taxes, or tariffs. Now, here is an overview on taxes. The legal definition and the economic definition of taxes differ in some ways, such as economists do not regard many transfers to governments as taxes. For example, some transfers to the public sector are comparable to prices. Examples include tuition to public universities and fees for utilities provided by local governments. Governments also obtain resources by creating money and coins, for example, by printing bills and by minting coins. Through voluntary gifts, for example, contributions to public universities and museums, by imposing penalties such as traffic fines, or by borrowing and also by confiscating wealth. Which, let's be real, that's fucking theft. But, whatever. Don't come and get me, Illuminati. But that's fucking theft. Like, I don't want to slide past that shit and let y'all stay ignorant. That's highway robbery. Fuck that shit. However, from the view of economists, a tax is a non-penal yet compulsory transfer of resources from the private to the public sector, levied on the basis of predetermined criteria and without reference to specific benefit received. In modern taxation system, governments levy taxes in money, but in kind and corvée taxation are characteristics of traditional or pre-capitalist states and their functional equivalents. The method of taxation and the government expenditure of taxes raised often highly debated in politics and economics. Tax collection is performed by government agencies such as the Ghana Revenue Authority, Canada Revenue Agency, the Internal Revenue Service, which is the IRS in the United States, Her Majesty's Revenue Customs, which is, United Kingdom shit, or Federal Tax Service in Russia. When taxes are not fully paid, the state may impose civil penalties such as fines or forfeiture on criminal penalties such as incarceration on the non-paying entity or individuals. Now, here are the different types of taxes. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, publishes an analysis of the tax system of member countries. As part of such an analysis, OECD has developed a definition and system of classification of internal taxes, generally followed below. In addition, many countries impose taxes/tariffs on the imports of goods. So, here we go into what the fuck we really want to talk about. Income tax, alright? An income tax is a tax imposed on individuals or entities that are called taxpayers that varies with respective incomes or profits, which is taxable income. Income tax generally is computed at the product of a tax rate times taxable income. Taxation rates may vary by type or characteristic of the taxpayer. The tax rate may increase as taxable income increases, referred to as a graduated or progressive rates, which means we might be asking for more money after we ask for this money. The tax imposed on companies is usually known as a corporate tax and is levied at a flat rate. However, individuals are taxed at various rates according to the band in which they fall, which is just another word for tax bracket. Most jurisdictions exempt locally organized charitable organizations from taxes. Sometimes I wish Google would just fucking say it all normal and shit. Like them, it's gotta be one of the super fucking nerds that wrote this Wikipedia entry, because even I'm stumbling through this shit. But most jurisdictions exempt local organized charitable organizations from tax, which just basically means if you're a charity organization, you don't gotta pay taxes. And most of the time, I'm pretty sure stuff like churches don't have to pay taxes either. Capital gains may be taxed at different rates than other income. Credits of various sorts than other income. Capital gains may be taxed at different rates than other income. Credits of various sorts may be allowed that reduce tax, which is, tax cuts. Some jurisdictions impose the higher of an income tax or a tax at an alternative base or measure of income. Taxable income of taxpayers resident in the jurisdiction is generally total income, less income produced expenses and other deductions. Generally, only net gain from sale of property, including goods held for sale, is included in income. Income of a corporation shareholders usually includes distribution of profits from corporation. Deductions typically include all income producing or business expenses, including an allowance for recovery of costs of business assets. That just means, sometimes you can find tax cuts that help you get money back for money you lost. That was just a part of doing business. Deductions typically include all income producing or business expenses, including an allowance. Oh shit, I already read that part. Many jurisdictions allow national deductions for individuals and may allow deductions of some personal expenses. Most jurisdictions either do not tax income earned outside of the jurisdiction or allow a credit for taxes paid to other jurisdictions as such income. Non-residents are taxed only on certain types of income from sources within the jurisdictions, with few exceptions. And that basically means that if you're somewhere where you're not a resident of, the rules of how you have to pay taxes are a little bit different, which is a lot of times when y'all go to those touristy spots in other places where you're not from, shit costs more because they're trying to make up for the fact that you're not taxed as a non-resident. Most jurisdictions require self-assessment of the tax and require payers of some types of income to withhold tax from those payments. Advanced payments of tax by taxpayers may be required. Taxpayers not timely paying taxes owed are generally subject to significant penalties, which may include jail for individuals or revocation of the entity's legal existence. Which is like, damn, like you could just decide I don't fucking exist no more? So I don't pay this shit? That's crazy. Okay. The concept of taxing income is a modern innovation and presupposes several things: a money economy, reasonably accurate accounts, a common understanding of receipts, expenses and profits, and an orderly society with reliable records. For most of the history of civilization, these preconditions did not exist, and taxes were based on other factors. Taxes on wealth, social position, and ownership of the means of production, typically land and, of course, slaves from back in the day, because fucking America. Practices such as tithing or an offering of first fruits existed from ancient times and can be regarded as a precursor of the income tax. But they lack precision and certainly were not based on the concept of net increase. Yeah, because it was based on the fucking barter and trade system when they were doing the whole first fruit shit. There is no way to fucking levy the value of a sick, dying chicken versus a brand new, young, healthy chicken and shit. However, early examples of income tax. The first income tax is generally attributed to Egypt. In the early days of the Roman Republic, public taxes consisted of modest assessments on owned wealth and property. The tax rate under normal circumstances was 1% and sometimes would climb to as high as 3% in situations such as war. These modest taxes were levied against land, homes, and other real estate. Slaves, animals, personal items, and monetary wealth were also what was considered. The more a person had in property, the more tax they paid. Taxes were collected from individuals. In the year 10 AD, Emperor Wang Mang of the Zheng dynasty instituted an unprecedented income tax at the rate of 10% of profits for professionals and skilled laborers. He also overthrew it was overthrown 13 years later in 23 AD, and earlier policies were restored during the re-established Han dynasty which followed. One of the first recorded taxes on income was the Saledian tithe by Henry II in 1188 to raise money for the Third Crusade. The tithe demanded that each layperson in England and Wales be taxed 1/10 of their personal income and movable property. However, moving on to the modern era of income tax, the inception date of the modern income tax is typically accepted as 1799 at the suggestion of Henry Beek, the future Dean of Bristol. The income tax was introduced into Great Britain by Prime Minister William Pitt the Younger in his budget of December 1798 to pay for weapons and equipment for French Revolutionary War. Pitt's new graduated progressive income tax began at a levy of 2 old pence in the pound, 1 to 120 on income taxes over £60, which is equivalent to £6,200 in 2018, which I don't know how the fuck the conversion rate is to US dollars, but I'm pretty sure it's at least about $3,000. An increase up to a maximum of 2 shillings in the pound, 10% on incomes of over £200. Pitt hoped that the new income tax would raise £10 million a year, but actual receipts for the 1799 total only over a little of £6 million. Pitt's income tax was levied from 1799 to 1802 when it was abolished by Henry Addington during a Peace of Amiens. Addington had taken over as Prime Minister in 1801 after Pitt's resignation over Catholic emancipation. The income tax was reintroduced by Addington in 1803 when hostilities from France recommenced, but it was again abolished in 1816, 1 year after the Battle of Waterloo. Opponents of the tax, who thought it should only be used to finance wars, wanted all records of the taxes destroyed along with its repeal. Records were publicly burned by the Chancellor of the Exchequer, but copies were retained in the basement of the tax court. I wish shit was still like that. Like, why the fuck can't we only go and have taxes during times of war? I guess it really wouldn't matter, though, because knowing the United States, they just get into more wars as an excuse to tax the shit out of our ass for no fucking reason. But, I mean, that's some bullshit. Either way, you know, that's the, you know, the little intro to taxes. You know, of course, we'll dive into it again on the next Nerd Money edition of Urban Nerd Weekly, but that's all I got for you guys today. So take this information, let it help you in your journey to get your taxes done and avoid them fines, penalties, jail time and shit, cause Uncle Sam will fuck you deep dog in the ass, boy. Before I get on up out of here, I'm gonna hit y'all with this episode's question of the day, which is, what is the most insane thing you've ever seen someone do with their tax return, like their income tax return? Either their income tax return, or if you went to college and you seen people get like the money, like that money after their tuition was paid. What was that shit called? They refund? Like, you know, a lot of times people get that just the same. They do the same thing with that money they do with their income tax, and they go out and blow it. So what, in your opinion, what have you personally seen as the most insane fucking thing that someone has done with their income tax money? I have a story, but like usual, I'm gonna wait until the next episode to let you guys know. I want to hear all your opinions. Please, please, please don't forget, you guys, to subscribe, like, rate, and comment on all of the available platforms, which would be Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, coming soon to Spotify and iHeartRadio, you guys. I know those are the like new things that everybody's fucking with right now, and I promise you, Urban Nerd Weekly will be on there soon. I just got to make a couple of moves to make that happen. But until then, make sure you guys like, rate, and subscribe to the show so we can raise up in the rankings and be one of the cool kids. Because after all, what do nerds want to be more than one of the cool kids? Love you guys, man. My name is Space Was Here. See, because I was here, but now I'm